For centuries, European brown bears have been playthings for humans. With rings forced through their noses and chains round their necks, cruelly they're forced to dance for tourists. More often than not, gypsies are the bears' owners and the bears are the gypsies' meal ticket. But what Greenpeace did for whales, a group called Whisper is now doing for bears, or at least trying to do. When we went along on Whisper's latest brown bear rescue operation, things didn't go quite to plan. How this bear got to be in the back seat of a blue Renault in a 3-car convoy across half of Turkey is quite a saga. Stressed and confused, the bear doesn't yet know that his miserable dancing days are now over. We'd heard about these bears still performing on much of Turkey's Aegean coast, particularly at the tourist resort of Kusadasi. An animal rights group was seeking one bear in particular, kept by a gypsy family in this camp near the beach.
Michael. I am Michael.
I am Richard. Hi.
You Richard?
Yes.
I am Michael.
Posing as tourists, we took a look for ourselves and paid the few dollars the gypsies charge to make the bear dance. These bears have been a gypsy's meal ticket for centuries, but now it's against Turkey's animal protection laws. To make him dance, the handler tugged on 2 chains, one going around the bear's neck and another attached to a ring skewered through the flesh on the bear's nose. This bear appeared to have a badly injured jaw.
Well, from what I've seen from the video, it's not a very pretty sight. This jaw that's broken must be some kind of wound that he inflicts on them when he trained the bear, so we'd be particularly interested in taking this bear.
New Zealander Peter Henderson is a farmer turned animal activist working for WSPA, WSPA, the World Society for the Protection of Animals. He's here to confiscate the bear, but even with local police assistance, WSPA won't go inside the gypsy camp.
But I mean, why? I mean, there are only 20 or 30 men out there and babies and lying under trees.
But 20 or 30 men, and only half of them or one of them only has to have a shotgun and a couple of bullets, and it can be a couple of dead men rather than a bear in a truck. So
there's no question we have the law behind us.
Definitely, the law in Turkey has made it abundantly clear and beyond all doubt that this is not acceptable. It's against the law.
Brown bears are endangered, but still roam wild in Turkey's mountains. It's believed hunters shoot mothers, steal the cubs, then sell them to gypsies, like this one known as Black Cloud. The thought of gypsies mistreating a live teddy bear brought a deluge of public sympathy and money when Whisper began a Save the Bear campaign in Britain. Black Cloud wasn't much older than this when a ring was put in his nose.
Large number of gypsies pin the bear down and push it through, and either they'll just poke it through with a sharp object to make a hole, or they may use something heated to make a hole.
According to wildlife vet Susie Boardman, the cruelty is what gives the gypsies mastery over a dangerous and powerful animal.
The ring in the nose is there to create pain in order that the bear will do what you're asking it to do.
I mean, I've put rings in bulls' noses, rings in pigs' noses, but I haven't put them on a chain and danced them around my hometown in front of people and inflicted unnecessary pain.
Does a bear suffer more pain than the bull, do you think?
Yes, I do, definitely, and he suffers pain for a different reason. I mean, a bull has a pretty good life. He's got plenty of cows to serve and he runs around and he's looked after for that purpose. I mean, I'd probably, if I had to come back as an animal, I wouldn't mind being a bull, but I wouldn't want to be a bear.
Istanbul, the Bosphorus, where Europe meets Asia. Gypsies and dancing bears making money for travellers has been a way of life here for centuries. Istanbul used to have a dancing bear population of hundreds. Now it's bear-free, and it was Whisper who confiscated the last 14 only last year. The bears danced by day, then the gypsies left them tied up in a city park for the night. That was when Whisper struck. They tranquilised each bear and then stole them away. One of those captured was Black Cloud, by then 2 years old. In some respects, they were the gypsies' easy targets. I mean, they haven't got an organisation to fight back, they haven't got a National Farmers Federation, that sort of thing.
Oh yes, they're very vulnerable, and not only vulnerable to this sort of thing. Gypsy bashing's been around for many, many, many years. I mean, we don't have to go back very far in history to find it, and you know, that they've always been the scapegoat for everything, and I'm very conscious of that.
Whisper's campaign started across the border in Greece, but it hasn't been all good news. The first bear confiscated was found in a building as derelict as the animal. It was an old bear named Dimitri.
He was 27 years old, and he had danced most of his life. Oh, my God. This animal has the most stinking, horrible abscesses in his mouth. If we'd got him 6 months ago, you know, maybe we could have done something to him, but it's all in the bone of his jaw. The whole thing's, his whole jawbone's coming apart. On this side, you can see better where the nose rings have been pulled out. You can see there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least 9 nose rings in there. All of which, except the last one, had pulled out. I'm afraid that there's only one thing we can do for him that's kind, and that's not to let him continue anymore. This poor old boy must have been in absolute agony. It was a very emotional situation. There was nothing we could do for him. So, in a way, I was pleased to euthanize him because we put him out of his misery.
Back on the Turkish coast, Whisper's latest confiscation wasn't going too well either. They planned to seize the bear when the gypsies took it to dance for tourists on the beach. But the gypsies didn't show. Whisper was still not prepared to seize the bear in the gypsies' camp, so they abandoned the hunt. So, Peter, an empty cage?
An empty cage, yes. Very disappointing for us to get so close. And unfortunately, much as I want this bear in the bag, he's beat us this time.
We figured that if the gypsies accepted us in their camp yesterday, they'd do so again today. So, under the shade of an olive tree, we talked turkey about rescuing the bear ourselves. Michael, what's the name of the bear, please?
Shakir.
Shakir.
Yes.
In Turkish, Shakir means beautiful.
What is the matter with his jaw?
Çocukken ağaçtan düştü.
The bear fell off a tree when he was young.
Now, do you realise that you're breaking the law by having that bear?
Hayır.
No.
No, you do know the law, don't you?
Yasa dışı biliyoruz ama...
I know it's illegal, but it's tolerated. I have children.
How much money did you make with the bear?
1 ile 1,5 milyon lira arası.
I made between 1 to 1.5 million liras a day.
$20 or $30 a day?
Yes.
But with Whisper and the police after him, Michael knew the game was up. And when we offered a week's income, the bear was ours. So there we were, a few hours later, travelling in a convoy across Turkey with gypsies as escorts and a 100-kilo brown bear for company. 14 hours later, we were in the north of the country at Whisper's new sanctuary.
What have you got to show me?
Hey?
What have you got to show me?
Come with me. Come with me.
I think. Oh, here.
Hey, you know that bear you wanted down the other town?
And this is the man delivering it. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's the one with the crooked jaw.
That's him.
Peter Henderson was thrilled to see the bear, but not so happy to see the owner, given how he had abused his animal.
The jaw worries me.
The jaw, well,
I'd like to know how that happened, and considering that he destroyed another bear with a broken jaw exactly the same.
Well, he said that this happened when he fell out of a tree as a youngster.
Yeah, well, but it's funny that both these bears have fallen out of a tree as a youngster. You know, it's definitely some kind of, yes, come on, fella, we'll find you a home. And,
Peter Henderson has spent the last 12 months here not only seizing bears, but creating this place for them to retire to. A 40-acre sanctuary is what Whisper's donations have built. It must seem like heaven for a one-time dancing bear. Among the first inmates was Black Cloud, now an adult bear. And when his nose ring's removed, the bear known as Shakir will join them.
He's going to get a lot of freedom soon, so he'll have it in stages, won't you? And we're giving you a new name. You're going to be called Anzac, okay?
What are you going to call him?
Anzac. So it's an Australian-New Zealand effort, so I think that's a fair enough name.
I mean, support for snatching bears off gypsies is going to be widespread because everyone had a teddy bear. They like what you're doing. But aren't there really bigger problems?
Yes, there is bigger problems around. You only have to look at the television. Not far from here, Bosnia is a big problem. But that's a people problem, and people should be able to solve their own problems. Bears can't stand up in Parliament and make treaties with mankind. Animals are really here at our mercy. And I mean, it's a privilege that we've got that we shouldn't abuse. Good lad. Good lad.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.